YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video, and in today's video, I'm coming on here to talk about the things the Washington Commanders must do in 2022 to have a successful season with Carson Wentz. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's get straight into today's video. So, the things the Washington Commanders are going to have to do to have a successful season with Carson Wentz at the helm. We're so tired of being mediocre. We're so tired of not having a quarterback. And some of us feel like, well, some of you guys feel like we finally have a quarterback that could turn this whole thing around. And Carson Wentz has proven in his career that he's able to do that. But as of late, he hasn't been the old Carson Wentz. So what is it going to take for the Washington Commanders to get that old Carson Wentz back out of him, MVP Carson Wentz back out of him? Because we know he's not going to be able to do it by himself. So number one on this list, number one on this list, what the Washington Commanders have to do to get this old Carson Wentz back and to get the best out of Carson Wentz. Because again, you guys know this is a one-in-year deal, I should say, or all-in season, I should say. We're going all in. Number one, got to get this defense back together. You got to get this defense back together. I don't care how good Carson Wentz plays. I don't care if he just lights it up and he's the MVP of this upcoming season. If this defense is playing terrible and remotely close to what they played that first half of the season last year, we're not going to go nowhere. We're not going to go nowhere because it doesn't matter how good he plays. If your defense is allowing teams to just score up and down the field at will, doesn't matter what you do. Your defense can't stop a nosebleed. And for that first part of the season, we couldn't. And some parts of the second half. Cowboys game late in the season where we got killed on Monday Night Football. So, if we want to get the best out of Carson Wentz, we got to get this defense back together. Chase Young, I'm looking at you. This is a big year for Chase Young. It's put up or shut up time. We spent the number 2 overall draft pick on you back in 2020. Damn, it's already year 3 of Chase Young. We're about to be. That's crazy. Montez Sweat. Year 4 for you. This is a contract year for you, for real, for real. Yes, you have another year because you have the 5th-year option. You was drafted in the first round. I understand that, but this is a big year for you too. Deron Payne, this is your last straw if you want to get extended. This is a big year for this defense. Jack Del Rio, big year for you, my man. You know I'm always a guy that loves to defend Jack Del Rio. I call him out when he's wrong. That's how I am with everybody. I call him out when they're wrong, but I've been a big Jack Del Rio fan. I was in favor of us hiring him. But this is a big year for you. You disappointed me last year, too. It wasn't just the players on your defense. It was also you with your play calling and situational play calling, too. So this is a big year for this defense. And if they want to have the most successful season with Carson Wentz at the helm, you got to get him help on defense. Doesn't matter, again, if he's going out here dropping 30 a game. If your defense is giving up 30, doesn't matter. So that's number one. Number two, if they want to get the best season out of Carson Wentz, you got to surround him with more weapons. You got to surround him with more weapons. Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, Logan Thomas is not enough. Not enough. We still need a true, legitimate number 2 wide receiver, and I think Washington is going to take one at 11 too. I think they're on the same page as me, as a lot of other fans. I think they're going to take one at 11. I don't know if it's going to be Olave or Wilson or whoever. I think if Olave is there, it's a no-brainer. They love Olave, but I don't know if he's going to be at 11. If he's somehow at 11, you take Chris Olave, and that is your number 2 receiver alongside Terry McLaurin. You got to surround him with more weapons because, again, we don't have enough. If only... And I'm not going to keep talking about this because it's in the past. But the only way we had enough offensive weapons if you had a quarterback like Russell Wilson, like Aaron Rodgers coming here. But we didn't. We got Carson Wentz, who is not the bad, but he's not the worst. But he's not a player that can take a Cam Sims to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson can play with a bunch of Cam Sims and make them great. I don't think Carson Wentz can do that. So you have to get more weapons around this guy. You gotta load him up with another receiver, maybe another tight end. I like our running back group. I know some of you guys think we should draft a running back group. I love my 3 running backs that we have here. I don't think we need to draft another running back. If we do, that's going to hurt me because that means Jared Patterson's on the outside looking in, and I feel like he did enough late in the season to pretty much guarantee a spot on this roster. So I like my 3 running backs. So I really think tight end and receiver is the only positions we really need to address in the draft. And for Carson Wentz, maybe the offensive line too. Left guard could be a situation now that Eric Flowers is gone. So I could see them taking a swing at that too. But other than that, you need to surround him with some more weapons, mainly wide receiver and tight end. So moving on to the next thing, Scott Turner, you have to be willing to make your adjustments. You have to be willing to build your playbook around your quarterback's strengths. Let me say that one more time. You have to be willing to change and build your playbook around your quarterback's strengths. And what do I mean by that? Because we know Scott Turner is a guy that wants to make his quarterback fit into his scheme instead of building his scheme around the quarterback's strengths. Ask the Ravens. Why do you think the Ravens is so successful? You thought they was just this RPO and read option and quarterback running using his legs kind of team? No, they had Joe Flacco. But they realized they drafted Lamar Jackson, who's a guy that can use his legs at the quarterback position. So they changed their whole scheme to fit his strengths. And look how successful they were. I know the Ravens didn't do anything last year, but if Lamar Jackson didn't get hurt, you would like to think they would have made the playoffs. So Scott Turner has to be willing to change his scheme around to fit Carson Wentz's game. And it's not like he has to make a lot of adjustments, you know, but you know, he loves the RPO game. Carson Wentz, that's what he loves. That's his strengths. So we got to get a lot of RPOs going for Carson Wentz. We got to make Terry McLaurin the #1 option on. I don't care. We got to make Terry McLaurin the #1 option on every single passing play. Every first look should be going to Terry McLaurin. Straight like that. So, number 3, Scott Turner, you have to be willing to change your scheme up a little bit to build, to have, you know, to build, what am I trying to say here? To fit Carson Wentz's scheme, fit his suits, fit his strengths. There we go. Now, moving on to the next thing here, the Washington Commanders must do if they want to get the best season out of Carson Wentz. Because, again, this is all or nothing this year. One and done for Carson Wentz. If he's the guy, then he's here multiple years. But if not, we can get out of that contract this next season, after next season. So, moving on to the next thing Washington Commanders must do. This is more for Carson Wentz. Take care of the ball, Carson. You know, that's one thing about Carson Wentz that he said is as he got older, he's learning to take care of the ball. He only had 7 interceptions last year, but what I mean by take care of the ball, not just throwing picks. You know, knowing when to just give up on a play, knowing when the defense is won, knowing to not put your body on the line. And again, as Carson Wentz said, as he got older, he's quickly realized that he can't do what he did in 2017 and 18, or maybe he still could, but he knows it's not smart for him and his body. You know what I'm saying? Remember, I forgot what year was this. Was this 2018, I want to say? Monday Night Football. This is the same time Adrian Peterson had the 90-yard run. Carson Wentz drops back the pass, thinks we have him wrapped up for a sack, and then he just gets out of there. Carson Wentz diving to the end zone on the play he tore his ACL in the LA Coliseum a couple years ago. So you know he's a risk taker. He's a guy that likes contact. So again, that's what I mean by that. Not just take care of the ball by throwing it, but I'm talking about being a runner, being smart, knowing when the defense is won. And this is what Carson Wentz can control. All the other things that he can't really control, but this right here, taking care of the ball, is what he can control, and I think he would be set up for a phenomenal 2022 season if he takes that into account. And this kind of ties into the last one that I just talked about, but Carson Wentz, and I know you can control it, but you really can't. Carson Wentz, you have to stay healthy, my man. You have to stay healthy. So this kind of ties into the last one. Like I said, you got to know when just to give up. Let the defense know they won this one. You can't be putting your body on the line as much because you're too valuable to this franchise. I don't care if this is just one season. You're our quarterback. You're too valuable to this team. So we got to keep this man healthy. We have to. And I really think if we can do these things, I see Carson Wentz having a solid season. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be out here going crazy. I learned my lesson from saying that wild stuff, but I do think we can be no worse than 7-10. I mean, he's way better than Taylor Heineke, and look what Taylor Heineke did. So we can't be worse than 7-10, right? So the last thing I want to talk about, then we're going to get out of here. Offensive line. We lost Brandon Sheriff. We lost Eric Flowers. This offensive line has to protect him. I still would like to think that our offensive line is going to be great because we still have John Masco. We still have a lot of our pieces. But losing Brandon Sheriff and losing Eric Flowers is going to hurt. But we got Andrew Norwell, Sadiq Charles, maybe Wes Schweitzer get the start of left guard, or maybe we draft someone. I think we'll be fine. Sam Cosmi, stud right tackle, rookie. Going to be going to his second year. Franchise right tackle right there. Charles Leno just got his bag. Chase Roulier, one of the best centers in all of football. Very underrated, and we missed him vividly last year after he, I want to say, broke his fibula. Tyler Larson backing him up. Stud. So those are the things we're going to have to do. We're going to protect Carson Wentz, but this is my list of what we have to do if we want to have a successful season with Carson Wentz in 2022. Let me know what you guys think about this list down below in the comment section. Do you agree with me? What's some things that you would change? What's some things that you would add that Washington has to do with Carson Wentz or for Carson Wentz to have a successful 2022 campaign? It's all or nothing this year, guys. So